We're going to get into P7 this week, and this is solving different types of equations. I've given you some just steps on solving a linear equation. This should be a review. I'm hoping that everybody's good with this, and we're going to start with this problem here just to refresh your memory on it. And this is just solving linear equations in one variable. So we take a look at this, and it looks like we have some distribution to go. 2x minus 6 minus 17 equals 13, 3x, and minus 6. So we're going to take that and add like terms. And that's what we're looking at for both sides. I'm going to move the 3x just to keep that x positive. Five x equals 30, and then x equals 6. Okay. So you got some of those problems just to practice, not many, just to refresh your memory on those. And we also want to make sure that we take that and check our solution is correct by plugging 6 back in to the equation. And if you do that, what you should end up with is negative 11 equals negative 11 when you substitute x back into its places. Okay, so that's the first type. Next one we're going to look at is linear equations with fractions. So we take a look at an example like this, and first off we see fractions, and we know that fractions need to have a common denominator. So right off the bat we can see they don't, but you should be able to see what is the common denominator. You said 12, you're right on. And now it's an equation, so make sure that we're doing it to both sides. And this is just like our rational expressions, but now they're equations because we stuck the equal sign in there. Okay, when we do that, we're going to basically say 12 times x plus 2 over 4 as one term. And I'm just distributing the 12 to both terms. That way we can take care of these. And we can take care of the right side to be 24. When I look at this one, I know that that will be 1, and this will reduce to 3. This will go to 1, and this will reduce to 4. So I have 3x plus 6 minus 4x. And then treat it like it's a negative 4. So we're going to say plus 4 equals 24. Got negative x plus 10 equals 24. Negative x, and you should be able to see the steps that are actually happening here after I write this. We know x is going to be equal to negative 14 if we divide by negative 1. So you're going to have to work with some that don't have common denominators, and that just means we want to multiply by the least common denominator. Here we're looking at rational expression equations. So solving a rational equation in this case. And the first thing we want to do is we want to say what values that x cannot equal. Let's do that right from the start. And we should be able to see that negative 6 and negative 2 are two of our first ones. But we don't know yet what this looks like. Factor x squared plus 4x minus 12. I'll give you a couple of seconds to think about what that factor is in your head. Six and 2 factors, that's a positive, that's negative, which is nice in this case because we have something on the left that's going to need parts of that. So this should be just like rational expressions, except it's an equation. So we want to be able to figure out what needs to go where. So we know the least common denominator is x plus 6 times x minus 2. So all of that needs to be distributed here, and it needs to be distributed to 1 over x minus 2 and we also have to do it to the other side. This is x plus 6 on the bottom, x times minus 2. We're taking that and we're multiplying that by the least common denominators, which is x plus 6 and x minus 2. I write that out exhaustively here just to show what's happening. So really distributing this, but I want to make sure that we're understanding, like, whatever we multiply, we have to multiply to every term in the whole equation to keep it balanced. So in this case, x plus 6 is going to cancel itself out, and we're going to be left with 3x minus 6. X minus 2 divided by x minus 2 is 1 over 1. And then we're just left with plus x plus 6 equals both of these divided, give me 1. And we're left with 4. So it looks much nicer here. And we're just left with 4x equals 4. And we can see that x equals 1. X equals 1 in this equation. And we also have our restrictions as far as x cannot equal 6 or 2. In this case, it is a positive 2. Let's just make a change there. So that is what our restrictions are. So all I want you to do here is I just want you to practice one, and this will be the last problem that we go over in the video notes for this weekend. So pause it and go ahead and solve that. Should come out to x equals 7. And if you don't get that and you can't figure out how that happened, ask that in class. But this will be the end of the first section for P7 equations. Maybe we'll get to it Monday, maybe we won't, as far as doing some problems with it. But we'll see how the rationalizing numerators go on Monday.